Well, thank you for staying with us. Amid the tension associated with the 2023 general elections, the stock market of Nigerian Exchange Limited yesterday crossed the 33 trillion naira mark in terms of market capitalization, setting a new record as domestic investors shun high-risk stocks and focused more on investments in fundamental stocks. However, Nigerian bonds are posting some of the best gains in emerging markets as investors bet that the ruling party's candidate, Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who's taken, that was even at the lead, not now that even it's been announced as the president-elect. Now, Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed is a stockbroker and investment banker. He joins me now via Zoom to look at all of these issues. Mr. Mohammed, how are you today?
Thank you very much, Tulu. How are you doing?
Very well. Well, we talked about, I'm sure we discussed before the elections, and we talked about this market face thing that whoever wins and the top candidates at that time. Now, what is your reaction first to what is happening after the announcement of the president-elect, Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? What do you think has happened in the market in just this few days?
Well, the same thing we talked about. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, president-elect, is pro-market. So we expect the market to respond, but we've not seen that respond yet. What you see again in terms of market capitalization is the uprise in terms of Airtel Africa and Gururu, the power holding company that actually are moving the index this far. But definitely, he is a market-friendly guy. His manifesto, as far as the economy is concerned, is pro-market, and so he has said all the right things that will tick the market. So now we're waiting for him to start the work. And again, the first thing every investor is looking at is his cabinet. What will be? Who is going to be his minister for finance? Who is going to be his minister for budget? And who is going to be the minister for, I think, budget and planning? So once we get this sorted out and he's able to hit the ground running, as we all expect him because of his pedigree as being a man that can get talents to do the job, if anything, if his pedigree is anything to go by when he was governor of Lagos State, the market is quite optimistic about a lot of economic reforms that he would drive, especially his courageous nature to even say during the campaign that once he becomes president, fuel subsidy will go.
But investors seem to be pricing in on Nigerian bonds more when compared to the emerging markets. What do you think is happening around that space?
I think it's all about the election, the peaceful conclusion of the election, even if there are issues that have to do with the BVAS not working the way people thought it should. But the fact that the opposition party are also looking at going to court, not calling for any street protests, not calling for any violence, I think that also has helped investors to have confidence in our democracy, and knowing that our democracy have grown to the point whereby we look at rule of law as a means of settling election dispute. So that also have boosted the confidence of the bond market as it stands. So, and like I said, investors were going to react to what we are seeing if any of the three leading candidates has won. And so it's not too much surprise what we are seeing. Why you are not seeing that in terms of the equity market is because it has been priced in before now, what the election will be. So what the equity market need now is a trigger in the sense that the earnings season is a year. So we are waiting for those earnings results, especially the final year will not be so much of a problem, but especially the first quarter, via the cashless policy and also the first shortage. So that's where investors are waiting for the first quarter result to begin to take position and begin to look for a way forward. But presently, as it stands, the market is very confident in the president-elect because of his economic plans.
Well, I want to stay with the Naira scarcity issue and what impact you think this would have on the banking sector or the performance of the banks. because you will agree with me that most Nigerians now have shifted to all of these online platforms. Though I won't mention names, they need to come to TVC to pay us for adverts. But you know what I'm talking about. Everyone is moving that line, and banks might even lose their customers. I spoke to someone and he told me that if I can get access to my money in the bank, I'll just pull it away and I'll take it to this place. So do you think that might affect the bank's productivity one way or the other? Don't forget, they have a lot of challenge to face at this time already on the ground.
Well, Nigerian banks are very resilient. And again, you must know that one of all these fintech companies, what they have is wallet, and you still have to link through the bank. So the bank still makes commission, even if you are going to do any transaction through any other means, because you have to actually be connected to one of the main bank. They are not money deposit money banks, so definitely you have to link it to them. So whatever transaction you are still doing, they are also making profit from it. Even it might not be as much as they will make if they are moving it from their own platform, but definitely they are still making profit from it. One thing we need to understand is that the cashless policy, and the first people that will enjoy the benefit of the cashless policy is the banking sector, especially in the non-income space, because a lot of Nigerians have actually gone cashless, like you rightly pointed out, either by using other fintech companies. And again, you mustn't forget that the banks are also a holding companies, and they are also looking at those fintech area, and they have a large cash of fund to begin to develop the fintech part of the economy. And so they want to be a larger player. Just today, we heard that Zenith Bank will also be forming an holding company now. So in that holding company, you could have a payment company out of it. You could have insurance, you could have pension fund, just like every others are trying to do that are listed in the market. So definitely they will look at the cashless policy, and they will want to cash into it also to see how they can help their bottom line. But like I said, most of the bank already have a fintech a company attached to them, to their holding company payments system. So definitely they are working on that, and I understand what most Nigerians are saying. But like I said, you still need to put your money in the main bank, and then from the main bank, you need to do transaction from all those other platforms. So they still benefit from whatever thing you're doing.
Now, the NGX, very strategic, actually has a way of measuring the barometer of any economy. The stock market remains very important. In what way do you think the incoming administration, what way can they work hand in hand with the stock market? Of course, we know that we can raise funds from the stock market to fix infrastructure, to do other things. What kind of synergy do you expect moving forward, Mr. Mohammed?
Yes, I must say I'm excited with the president-elect when it comes to things like that. He's a private sector person. He has always believed in the private sector. I mean, before he became president, he held meeting with the private sector. Everything he said ticked the private sector. So what we want to see a government that will come and partner with the stock exchange. The last time we had any government that definitely partnered with the stock exchange was the then president Olusegun Obasanjo, and then when we had the DG Indi Onyekurike. That was the first time we saw a partnership between the government and the stock exchange. And that worked, and that we got some companies, we got a lot of companies listed, we got a lot of government companies being privatized. We saw the government playing a leading role in the stock exchange. But after that, we've never had any government that have seen the stock exchange as a partner in terms of economy. And like you rightly pointed out, the barometer of any economy is being measured by how much your stock market is doing. So definitely what I want to see that synergy, like you mentioned, in the area of infrastructure and in the area of borrowing. I want to see a PPP whereby we begin to look at projects as a way of revenue to Nigerians. Maybe you want to construct Lagos Ibadan. Instead of us borrowing all large sum of money, we look at it, we place the bond there, and Nigerians come and invest. And in the next 25 years or 30 years, Nigerians are being paid dividends of those people that apply Lagos Ibadan Expressway. We want a situation whereby it becomes every company in Nigeria have a part ownership of the general public. That's the only way we can build wealth. If you're going to look at the Singapore experience, how they were able to empower their citizens to begin to take opportunities. So I think we need to look at that. We need to see this government come in and begin to partner with the stock exchange. We don't want the situation that happened before, where we have the economic recovery growth plan and there was no input from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We want to see an economic recovery growth plan and an economic plan that will involve the stock exchange, the management of the stock exchange, the companies in the stock exchange, the leadership of the stock exchange, and also the shareholders, how they can drive growth, real growth, through investing in critical sector of the Nigerian economy in a private sector-driven public partnership. That is what we are expecting from the new president, and I think we might get it from him. If his pedigree, I keep saying about his pedigree as governor of Lagos State is anything to go by. He was the first governor that came up to Lagos State and did the PPP planning between them, especially in the area of security, in the area of revenue, everything was both PPP, both public and private sector. We expect him to bring that to the national level, and with a lot of transparency and involving the private sector, then we'll see how our economy will grow faster than what we are experiencing now, especially real growth that will create wealth for Nigerians and also provide jobs for the teeming youth of Nigerians that have been jobless for a while.
Great stuff there. I must thank you. Brilliant as usual. Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed, do enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Tulu.